Matao noticed me doing the same as him, and smiles a little, in his usual stilted way. I think for Ikazawa's state, it would be good to quickly take her somewhere away from the others. Nakai Hakamichi. Oh yeah, that's me. And Shizune. Shizune. Right, I think. Could you please take Ikazawa out of the classroom? I'll keep everyone settled, so please don't worry about anything but her, okay? He looks at Misha to tell her to interpret the words for Shizune, but she's already finishing her translation by the time he does so. It's remarkable how little thought she needs to sign, as she still looks quite dazed otherwise. Yeah, it still looks like that. Nodding, Shizune and I stand to move to either side of Hanako. Matao steps back to allow us some room, and talks to the table behind us as some people there have begun to mutter between themselves about what's going on. We look at each other before lowering ourselves in unison, taking one arm around each of our shoulders and lifting. The two of us begin to walk at a slow pace to make sure we don't inadvertently hurt her. As much as we try to make this look normal, I'm quite sure there would be many more gazes on us if not for Matao's distraction. How big is our class? Like 20 people? Eventually, thankfully, we reach the door and go through. Nobody's outside, so we walk down the hallway. It doesn't seem like it's making her more at ease than she was in the classroom. Finally, I ask her if she wants to just sit down. For a while, we simply stay in place and wait for her to say something. Excuse me. I'm tired. Shizune tentatively rubs Hanako's shoulder a little, but there's no response. Eventually, she shakes her head a little when Shizune tries again. Both of us are looking at her, so we pick up on it immediately. Hey, you moved your eye. There. Progress. Shizune's hand comes again to rest on Hanako's shoulder as she awakens. Her face lifting to two very worried and anxious people looking at her. You don't look worried at all. She looks at us silently for a while. I'm initially worried she might freak out or do something extreme, but those fears prove unwarranted as her expression slowly changes from an almost lifeless blank state to a more normal, withdrawn shyness. She wordlessly lowers her head, her eyes evasively moving to the side. She looks embarrassed, almost ashamed. I want to say something, anything, to help. I can't though. I don't really know what just happened, or even what caused it. I feel helpless and ashamed of myself for not being of any use. Shizune sighs before looking at me. Even without words, I think I can tell what she's asking. I'll take Hanako to the nurse. Is that okay by you? I try to communicate my intentions through hand gestures, but I don't feel like I managed to get through to her very well. Shizune makes a dreary face in response to my gesticulations, confirming my impression. She stabs her finger in the air decisively, first at me, then at Hanako, then towards the stairs. She waits for me to nod before pointing at herself, then pointing at the door to the classroom. I get the feeling Shizune is much better at this than I am. I nod at her, since her plan is, after all, the same as mine. Shizune gets ready to make her exit, but she only leaves after looking at Hanako for quite some time. Are you okay with me taking you to the nurse's office? Hanako doesn't say anything or nod, but she stands up in place by herself, and when I begin to walk, she obediently follows. I've read about people being catatonic before, but I think this time I'm seeing it for myself. She looks extremely tired. After everything that's happened, it's not a surprise. Oh crap, I gotta see the nurse. He's gonna freak out at me for not exercising. After Hanako silently takes off her shoes and lies on the bed in the infirmary, the nurse and I take our leave. He shuts the curtain behind us. We both take a seat and I quietly and thoroughly go through everything that happened in quite some detail. I want to understand what happened, and the nurse has a good chance as anyone of knowing. He nods throughout my explanation, his face looking troubled as I finish. It must have been very troubling for you to have seen all this. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. I get that she fainted, but I don't really understand anything about why it happened or why she's acting like this. He nods, but his face is clouded. You don't know either? Well, yes and no. It's complicated, in the sense that there's confidentiality and I can't tell you. I assume you've heard of the yes, there it is. I've assumed you've heard about the concept of patient confidentiality at some point. This is a bit of a minefield in that respect. I'm gonna put it pretty bluntly. This is a matter for Ikazawa, me, and her therapist. I moved to protest, but I think better of it. I want to deny what he says, but if I think this through rationally, what he says makes perfect sense. I understand. Good, good. I wish I could help you more, but I think what Ikazawa needs right now isn't someone prying into her past or her emotions. She just needs someone to be there for her. She needs a friend. For what it's worth, I think you've done well in bringing her here. Sounds like you and your friends dealt with the situation well too. Close your eye. Makes you look creepy when it's open. I'd give you a lollipop or a sticker. Innuendo? I don't know. As a reward, but you might be a little too old for either. I really hope that's not an innuendo. He gives a cocky grin, obviously trying his best to lighten the atmosphere. I'm not really in a laughing mood, but he does manage to get a smile out of me. Thanks, do you mind if I stay here with Hanako? I'd appreciate the thought, but I think it would be better to let her rest for now. She'll be let back to her dormitory room this evening, so you can visit her then. I agree with him before standing. It feels like all I can ever do around the nurse is humbly agree to what he says. But it wasn't the same with the doctors in the hospital too. It's not even late. It's just dark outside because of the time change. I'm still not used to. Ugh. It's annoying because it gets light where I live. It gets light at like 6 in the morning. It gets dark. Well, right now it's also raining, but... So today it got dark around noon. But, yeah, I accidentally forgot to close the blinds of my room, so I was like, oh, the sun just wanted to wake me up at 6 this morning, and now it's like, what? I can't even see my clock. 3 something? Almost 4? Yeah, it's pretty dark outside, and it will actually start getting very dark at like 5 or something. I don't know. I'm out of it. The walk back to the classroom is a long one, my mind feeling heavy under the weight of so many things happening so suddenly. Even as I re-enter the classroom, I'm thinking about Hanako. My stomach feels like it's turning into knots while I think about how to deal with her. I still don't know what I'm going to say when I see her again. Thankfully, the class doesn't pay me much heed. There are a couple of questioning glances, but overall not many people seem to be very aware of what happened. Why am I yelling again? Ugh. Mutao raises his eyebrows to get my attention when I pass by his desk. Is he gonna say step outside? Oh, okay. Nakai, I take it Ikazawa is in the infirmary now? That was very stuttery. Yeah, I took her there, and the nurse said I should let her rest. Mutao nods, assuring me that I made the right call. He scratches his chin for a second before rising from his desk. Everyone, I want you to continue with the exercise. Nakai, I'll see you in the hallway, please. Knew it. I knew it. His speech is hushed, but overall he doesn't seem to be acting too differently from how he usually does. Being a teacher, maybe it's to be expected. As we go out into the hallway, I notice him taking a quick glance left and right to check if there are any students milling around. The hallway is nearly soundless. What is that sound though? I hear something. I can't think of anything except waiting for Mitao to speak. Nakai, what do you think the purpose of this school is? To cater to the needs of the disabled students? Mitao scratches his head as he shakes it. No, if we wanted to do that, we would have built a whole new school from scratch. One floor, talking whiteboards, that kind of thing. Look around, Nakai. This school is about giving you all a future you would have been denied in regular education. Huh? Think of it this way. If we wanted you to graduate and go straight into a hospital, do you think we'd put this much effort into it? The bluntness of Mitao's statement temporarily stuns me, causing me to forget about the immediate situation. No, that's right. We want you all to leave here as useful members of society. I'm not quite sure I'm following you. Hisao is actually pretty simple. He's saying, it's dark outside, I can't even see anything, but he's saying that if you're just going to... It's not just a school. It's trying to be like a regular high school so people will get their education and their social acceptance, I guess. I have high hopes for you, Nakai. You are possibly the first students I've had that gets my lectures. That isn't something that a teacher should be admitting so freely. You could easily take your studies of science well into university. Have you ever considered that? I can't say I have. Well, what have you considered for your future, that is? Say something. Don't say nothing. Well, we'll get back with Hisao's answer later on. Right now I'm gonna save and come back.